Hello and welcome to Asliga.com. In this video I'm just going to show you basically how to use all the different buttons and features in the My Team tool. There's other videos on this site that explain to you what everything means as far as how to use the weekly target and the ALI and all that kind of stuff, but this is just more of a functional instructional video just to show you how to create your team for the first time and shuffle things around a little bit. So let's go down here. The first thing you'll see when you register a new account is something like this: all grey, no players, just like when you first register on the official Fantasy Premier League site. So you want to go down to the Browse Players window, and the quickest way to set up your team is just to use the Search Player window. It's very, very quick. So if you know who's in your team, let's say I got Borak, there he is. Once you've found your player, all you got to do is hit the little Add to Team button here. So I'm going to do that, and I can see there's Borak sitting in my team up there. My other keeper is Marshall. Very, very quick, so I can already see him at the top. Now, you can also search for players by using these other filters here. I might want to search by teams. So I've got a couple of Everton players. I could go into Everton. I've got Coleman. Put in Lukaku. You can see them up in my team now. Now, if I've made a mistake, it's okay. I can just click that little X. Maybe I meant to bring in, maybe I meant to hit Baines instead. So there we go. Lukaku don't have to worry about that because he's actually not in your team. He's going to be transferred out. So he's got the black cross next to him, which means he's being removed. If I was to click that again, he'd stay in my team. So he's going to stay in my team, so I'm going to leave that there, and I'm actually going to get rid of Baines. But by far and away, the quickest way to set up your team for the first time is just to search by name. So, whoops, hang on. Oh, that's the other thing. The search window here will only search within the filters here. So I've just tried to search for Zabaleta, but it didn't work because I'm filtering by Everton. If I was filtering by Man City, it wouldn't be a problem. Zabaleta. And if I was filtering by defenders, wouldn't be a problem. There he is, Zabaleta. And if I was filtering by all, Zabaleta, there he is. So I'm going to add Zabaleta to my team. Helps if you spell the names correctly too. Turner. Santon. Very fast, very snappy. Walker. Now you can see I've already got 4 defenders in there, so it's going to put one in there. You can change this around later. I've already got Coleman, so let's go to Sterling. Silva. Ericsson. You don't need to type the whole player's name. It'll keep narrowing it down until you can't narrow it down any further. Whittingham. Walcott. Negredo. Suarez. Now, one thing to note when using the search for player function is some players, especially from South America, have got these little special characters. So Suarez has got one of those A's with a little thing at the top. If I was to search for SUA, it wouldn't come up. Same with Ozil. Ozil's got the German O. I'm not sure what they're called. If I search for ZIL, there he'd come up, but the O won't work. So that's just to keep in mind. Same with Aguero and that U. Suarez. And that's my team. So I've got just very, very quickly recreated my team from the official game, so I can start, playing with it and seeing how they're going and trying different things. This is really kind of like the pages in which you would do your sums. If you had a maths book and you try scribble in there and you try things, that's what this is kind of like. So I've created my team. The next thing I'm going to want to do is change my weekly target. So this is really important because this is going to help you determine how many points you want your team to score each week and how you're going to weigh up whether each player is worth keeping in your team or not. So if you change this, you're moving the goalpost around, it's going to change these numbers here. And you can also change these numbers by filtering via season or however many weeks. So you might only want to look at the last 6 weeks. If you click that, it'll take a second to load and these numbers will change. And it's now telling me how these players have performed over the last 6 weeks. If I want to save my changes, I've got a Save Changes button up here and down here. So if I click that, and that will save my team. If I sign out and come back, it's all going to be here. Now, if we want to get a little bit more information on a player, I can click on any player's name. So if I want to see how Coleman's going, I just click on his name and the View Player window will show up like this. Again, we can filter, we've got his stats down here, the games played, minutes played, goals scored, shots, etc, etc. And at the moment, this is all over the last 6 weeks. I can filter this again by game week, so I can go to any particular game week I want. Let's say I want to look at game week 13. And click that, and they'll all change, tell me how we went. I can also do it by clicking on individual points within this graph. So if you hover over a point, it'll tell you who they played that week and if they won. So this was against Southampton at home, so they won 2-1. And he did alright that week. He scored a goal, got 2 bonus points, total points of 10. So that's how many points they got in that week. If you've selected, say over the last 6 weeks, it'll tell you how many points they've scored over the last 6 weeks. What else is there to show you on this? This column here, I think I've already told you how many stats they've scored over this period, and then this is per game. So he's played 90 minutes per game over the last 6 weeks. He's scored a goal, 0.5 goals a game, so that's a goal every second game. He has at least a shot per game, and so on and so forth all the way along. And if you hover over any of these headings, if you're not sure of what they are, a little bubble will come up and tell you what they all mean. So, you know, this is the goal assist he scored per game, passes made per game, successful passes in the final third per game. It's a bit of a long one. Down here, we've got his upcoming fixtures. So this is what he's got over the next few weeks. And then just up here, we've got the little summary, how much he costs, how many points he's scoring per game based on this, etc, etc. Click that, that'll disappear. Now, if I want to make a substitute, I want to try something different, I use these buttons here. These are the substitute buttons. If I want to get rid of Santon, and I want to play with 3 forwards, I can come down here. There we go, changes made, very quick. Maybe I want to get rid, if you want to make a change that's illegal, for instance, let's try do Zabaleta. I want to bring in Walcott and play with 2 defenders. It's not going to let me do that, just like on the official site. To cancel that substitution, I just need to click that button again, and that will be cancelled. By using this button here, I can choose who I'm planning on captaining, and my target column will change according to the different players that I select. Now the ALI, it also credits down here double ALI for that week, and it also credits double points per game. So that's something to bear in mind as well. If I want to make a transfer, so I'm thinking I want to get rid of Negredo and I want to bring someone else in, I use this button here, the Remove from Team button. So I click that X and I come down to the Browse Players window and I can choose someone else. So let's say I want to bring in Rooney, I click that, you'll see the little cross, little add button disappears from Rooney. There he is sitting in my team. Very easy. Now the other thing you can do here is you can pin players. So if I want to keep an eye on a player for a couple of weeks, let's say I want to keep an eye on Sturridge, I can pin him, and as long as he falls within the search filters that are up here, he will always stick to the top of your window. So let's say I pin Sturridge, Adebayor, and Hazard. Let's pin a defender as well. Any defenders? Yep, Fabio. Going to pin him. I've pinned these 4 players. If I search for goalkeepers, none of them are going to be visible. If I go and search for forwards, there we go, we can see the forwards that I've picked. if I search for Liverpool, only Sturridge is there. And they will stay pins until such time as you unpin them. Easy as that. Now we've also provided this little window over here for you to write notes. Now you can use this for anything. If you've got a double game week coming up, or a fixture that you want to make sure you've got a few players in, whatever it might be, this is just a little text box. You can write yourself a reminder, whatever it might be. It's just a little extra thing to help you manage. And every time you click Save Changes, that note will be saved until such time as you delete it. We can also filter by different time periods with this season thing here, and we can filter by price here. So if I'm looking for a player with a high ALI, I've only got, let's say I've only got 6.5 to spend. I'm looking for a new midfielder. I can change this to midfielders. I can sort these columns by clicking on the heading. So if I click on this, lowest value, highest value, lowest PPG, highest PPG, least scored, most scored, and it's going to sort by those columns, so you can do that. But if I'm looking for a player with the highest ALI, click that, Snodgrass, highest ALI out of all the midfielders under 6.5 million. And that's how that works. And I can filter through the different pages by snapping to a page. I'm going to go to 7, back to 3, or just 1, next, and go to last, and go to first. It's very quick, very easy. We've also got the fixture window up here. I can use this to scroll through the fixtures and check if there's anything coming up I need to know about, any double game weeks, teams without a game week, whatever that might be. And I think that is pretty much everything there is to show you on this tool. So if you want a more in-depth description on how some of these things work and what they mean, by all means go and have a look at the other videos, but that's your quick instructional on how to do things. And if you've got any questions, you can always contact us here at Asliga with the Contact Us form. Otherwise, happy fantasy footballing. Thanks a lot.